Good day, everyone. We are the Group 1, and now we are here to present the contemporary foreign and economic policies of China. Population policies. Chosen category, create. Create a table about how China's family planning policies have evolved. The country of 1.4 billion people, which introduced a one-child policy in 1980. To slow population growth, has implemented some of the world's most invasive family planning practices. But as the country's workforce has aged, the government has increased the legal size of families. 1980 Communist Party orders to have only one child. 1982 First-time insurance birth control. 2014 Chinese government eases the one-child policy. 2015 China ends the one-child policy. 2021 Communist Party staff decision-making body announces that it will allow all Chinese couples to have 3 children.
Does China have two currencies? Does it use the yuan, the renminbi, or both? Renminbi is the official currency of the People's Republic of China, and it means people's currency. A yuan is a unit of currency. A popular analogy draws from the British sterling versus pound. Renminbi is the name of China's currency, just as sterling is the currency of Great Britain. A unit of renminbi is a yuan, just as the pound is the basic unit of sterling. Renminbi and yuan are often used interchangeably. For example, when shopping in China, a storekeeper might also express prices in terms of kuai, which translates into pieces, and is similar to how Americans use bucks means dollars. Chinese yuan is the official currency abbreviation for the Chinese yuan under the ISO 4217 standard. However, renminbi is often used as an unofficial abbreviation. In addition, due to the China's cross-border currency controls, the Chinese yuan may trade for different pricing in offshore markets.
From the mid-1990s until July 2005, the nominal exchange rate was the primary nominal anchor for China's monetary policy. According to the People's Bank, or PBC, the renminbi, the term Chinese yuan, renminbi CNY, refers to the currency used in the People's Republic of China, was valued against the US dollar by among 2% that month. And the currency was then managed against an unspecified basket of currencies. The first challenge is determining what China's monetary policy means. For bond yields, is the policy's complexity, it's difficult to figure out how it works. The reasons are profound and they reflect China's distinct history, gradually moving forward using market interest rate as a key tool in the monetary policy. Bond yields should rise as a result, become more important for China's financial situation and future economic development in the Asia-Pacific region.
So category is remember. Question, what are the challenges that China has facing when it comes to labor and employment? There are 3 challenges for China when it comes to labor and employment. The first one is the oversupply of labor and the irrational structure of employment coexist. Second is the pressure of urban employment and the transfer of surplus rural labor to urban speed simultaneously. And third is the demand of jobs by new entrants and the reemployment of laid-off workers interlaced. So, having these challenges, China has presented some solutions to overcome the problems that the country is facing. And the first is the Chinese government has always attached great importance of the issues of employment and re-employment and put it more outstanding position for socioeconomic development. And the second, the sustainable and rapid economic growth in China will continuously drive the increase of employment. And during the 11th five-year planning period, the Chinese economy is expected to keep the favorable trends of sustained and rapid growth. And the third is the system of proactive employment policies will be further improved.
China's guiding ideology of solving employment and re-employment problem in future several years is, according to the general requirements for building a harmonious socialistic society, to carry out a scientific concept of development, implement the planning of national economic and social economic in 11th five-year planning period, continuously regard the employment issues as the top of socio-economic development, insist on the employment principle of workers finding their own jobs, employment through market regulations, and employment promoted by the government. Emphasize the resolving of the remains problems in your employment resulted by economic mechanism reforming, and simultaneously make great efforts to promote the employment of new growth workforce in urban areas and surplus workforce transferred from rural areas. Coordinate the employment between urban and rural areas step by step, enhance laborers' quality, and explore and establish promoting employment adapting to the context of market economy.
Can you show the picture of China's great classical novels? You can usually find historical origins for the stories and characters depicted in classical Chinese culture. However, as they were passed down through generations and eventually written by novelists, this story became even more lively and delightful. The cast includes valiant heroes, brilliant strategies, fearless generals, and unwavering monks from all levels of Chinese society. These stories also emphasize faith in the divine and the mundane of heaven, which reflects the essence of traditional Chinese culture. This influence has now spread without the international community.
China's delicacies encompasses the numerous cuisines originating from China. Because of the Chinese diaspora and historical power of the country, Chinese cuisine has influenced many other cuisines in Asia and other continents. These delicacies, such as Peking duck and Biang Biang, are two of the best known traditional dishes of China. Peking duck or roast duck is said to originate during the 13th century in Hangzhou. It is one of the cooked foods that is being sold door to door by street vendors and is eaten by rolling pieces of duck that is seasoned with cucumber and sweet green sauce. Biang Biang noodles is alternatively known as Yupo Kemian in Chinese, a type of noodles that originated from Shanxi cuisine and described as being a belt owing to its thickness and strength.
For delicacies, next is dim sum. Dim sum culture began in tea rooms in the latter half of the 19th century in the port city of Guangzhou, the capital of Guangdong. Silk Road travelers and traders would take breaks in tea houses for a dim sum meal. Next delicacy is xiaolongbao. This delicacy begins in the Shanghai suburb of Nanxiang over 150 years ago. It is believed that Huang Mingxian wanted to create a dumpling that would surprise and delight the guests of his restaurant, which is the Wei Hua Shuan. And last for the delicacy is the Sichuan hot pot. It could be traced back to the Qing dynasty during 1821 to 1851. It is originated in Luozu, a wine city by the side of the Yangtze River. The cooker was just a simple pot with soup inside by adding a variety of vegetables together with chili Sichuana pepper.
Good day everyone, I'm Jen Chador Katipon and I will be explaining my topic, which is the Chinese people are either known as. Chinese people are either known as such as Zonggoren or Haoren. Simplified Chinese or traditional Chinese or Hua people by Chinese language speakers and including among Chinese speakers living in a Greater China as well as overseas Chinese. Although both terms are synonyms referring to Chinese people, their usage depends on a person and context. The former term is commonly used to refer to the citizens of the People's Republic of China, especially mainland China or ethnic Chinese living in China. Although it can be used to refer to ethnic Chinese regardless of citizenship or place residency, as it was used historically. The term Huaoren is used to refer to ethnic Chinese and is more often used for those who reside overseas or are non-citizens, and is less commonly used to refer to citizens and the state. And for the category that I haven't chosen, I choose to remember because as an individual, if I'm going to China, I'll become aware and I have an extra knowledge about their culture or their tradition.
Explain China's independent foreign policy in terms of peace. China firmly pursues an independent foreign policy of peace, the fundamental goal of which is to safeguard its independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, create a favorable international environment for implementing its reform and opening to the outside world and modernization drive, safeguard world peace, and promote common development. And there are major contents of China's foreign policy, and these are the following. First is China consistently persists in the principle of independence and taking the initiatives in its own hand. Second is China opposes hegemonism and safeguard world peace. Third is China actively promotes the establishment of a just and rational new international political and economic order. Fourth is China respect the diversity of the world. And fifth is China would like to establish and develop relations of friendship and cooperation with all the countries based on the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Sixth is China carries out an all-dimensional opening policy. And lastly, China takes an active part in multilateral diplomatic activities.
In a world of globalization, multilateralism is the sole solution to the world's problem and also the trends of our times. All the peace-loving people are now pondering over the same question. How should we promote multilateralism in order to maintain world peace and realize the common development? China maintained the establishment of a new international order which is the fair and rational, the realization of the democracy and the rule of law in international relations, and the promotion of multipolarization represents the only way to facilitate the development of multilateralism. The multipolarization that we stand is for a benign configuration which is various forces coexist in harmony, development in balance, and jointly maintain the stability of the international community instead of one where superpowers contend for hegemony as one exists in the history. The developing countries as one of the main forces of the world should be an irreplaceable and very important component of it.
China's position on establishing a new international political and economic order. China is ready together with the other countries in the world and to make joint to facilitate the establishment of a new international political and economic order that's fair and rational in the creation of the new world of lasting peace and universal prosperity. The 5 principles of peace and coexist. First is mutual respect of sovereignty and territorial integrity, mutual non-aggression and mutual non-interference in internal affairs. And the second is to persist in handling international disputes peacefully. Third is all the countries in the world enjoy equally sovereignty. Fourth is to respect the national condition of the various countries and seek to common ground while sheltering differences. Fifth is common beneficial cooperation of common development.